So you started reduce on September 1st.
Right.
And by September 8th, you were off and running.
5 pounds.
You had lost how much?
5 pounds.
So you lost 5 pounds your first week. And
then I crashed and burned.
So what happened? So stop right there. Because you were doing well. The body was responding. You were down. So what happened that triggered the that triggered the bender?
In August, I started a new business, and I added on $200,000 in debt just on my signature to start this new business with this man who's been helping me. He's been kind of mentoring me. Then all of a sudden he got sick, and he quit, and he has cancer, and I've been having some health issues. I'm thinking, freak, what am I going to do? I got all this debt. I got to run this business myself. I had no idea how to run this business. And in the meantime, I had started talking to my old college boyfriend that I still carry a torch for all these years. And we're both single at the time. And I'd taken to talking to him. And I was expecting a call from him that Wednesday, the day that Mark quit. I was expecting a call from him, and he didn't call.
So basically, the emotional eating is sabotaging you. And from what I remember back in like July, this pattern's been repeating itself. Am I right? Right? Yeah. So like in June it happened, and I ripped you a new one for that. And then in July it happened, and you were like, no, I'm not following it 100%, and I want to be back on track. So we're definitely seeing a pattern where it's emotional eating that's causing you not to reach your goal, correct?
Yeah, and so about a week ago, I figured, I don't like it, how I feel like this. I don't like being angry at myself. I don't feel good. And so I've gotten back down to 4 pounds, and I've started eating really well. But that's I got to solve the problem.
Right. Almost
so
every...
I need to develop the strategies that are not eating.
Correct.
What can I do that's not eating? And so I made myself a list, and, they seem so weak, but things that I like having some new sensey right. Things that make you happy.
So what you're doing, no, but Susan, so what you're doing is exactly what you need to do. It just has to happen before the emotional crisis hits, because I promise you, this is not the last time that you're going to feel stressed. It's not the last time that you're going to feel jilted by a potential lover. It's not the next time it's not the last time you're going to feel rejected in some way. So it's not the last time you're going to feel a negative emotion.
Right.
And it's not the last time that you're going to feel a positive emotion, because we do it the same thing for positive emotion. Basically, people who have been chronically overweight all have a bad relationship with food. We all do. We'll use it to feel good. We'll use it to feel bad. We'll use it because we're bored. We'll use it because we're not bored. We'll use it because there's nothing to do. We'll use it because there's something to do. The strategy that I've used and that I've indicated for a lot of my clients to do is to find something else to go to comfort, but you've got to give yourself those outlets before the next crisis hits. We don't want you to transfer one bad habit for another. So for example, to say something like, well, if boredom is a trigger, I get bored. When I get bored, I eat. Then what I'll do is go shopping instead. Well, that's not a good idea either, because now you're going to be out a lot of money versus having a bigger butt.
I got to find a healthy way. What's the healthy answer?
So a healthy answer. So for example, it sounds like one of the reasons that you'll comfort eat is for fear. I'm afraid I've taken a big financial risk and I'm going to fail. So there's fear and stress, right, are your two. For something like stress, a lot of times what I would recommend is, so the food basically soothes the emotion. What I'm saying is, instead of soothing the emotion and trying to quell it that way, let it out. So for example, if you live alone, that's easier to do. If you don't live alone, you could always go in your car and you just grab like a big pillow or like a sofa cushion and you just let it out. You scream, you cry, you yell, you swear, you hit, you spit, whatever that emotion is, you're either going to suppress it internally with food or you've got to let it out. Because either way, at the end of the eating session, if you eat for stress, at the end of the eating session, when you finally stop eating, is the stress any better?
Doesn't solve anything.
Right. So the point I want to make is that the only time the food works to cure the stress is at the actual time that you are chewing, which means the stress and the pain and then the guilt and the shame and all that crap that comes with that bad eating episode is waiting for you at the end of the last bite. So the problem is that will make us just keep eating. As long as I keep eating, I don't have to feel that way, right? And then it turns into something bad. Where if you do something like a physical release, you cry, you hit, you scream, you yell, the emotion gets out, the stress gets out. It doesn't solve anything either. We're still $200,000 in debt. The asshole still didn't call me. But I've gotten, that stress isn't eating me alive. I found an outlet, and I'm changing the habit. I'm turning away from food as the soother and finding something else to soothe me. And then another way of doing it is to create a standard. So one of the things that we're doing in the program is we're trying to replace old habits that cause the body to become overweight and sick with new habits that keep it at its normal weight and keep it healthy, right? So that means a habit exchange, right? I got to exchange one habit for another. Okay. In order to first create the habit, you have to create a new standard. And most standards come from negative feedback. So I will give you an example. There's a standard that you currently have that is so much of a habit that you probably don't think about it. The standard is kind of vulgar, but I'm still going to tell you what it is. Chances are you wipe your butt every time you poop. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, if you think about the actual act of wiping your butt after you poop, is that a pleasant task? Like, is it fun to do? Like, you can't wait to get the toilet paper in there and just start doing what you need to do? No.
Okay.
Right?
No.
That's not necessarily fun. Why do you do it then? Why are you even doing it? It's not fun. It's unpleasant.
You want to be clean.
Okay. So you want to be clean. Why else?
You not be healthy. You'll get sick.
So you'll get sick. So that's a negative consequence. And if we look at I want to be clean, that means I don't want to be dirty. So I'm avoiding being dirty. I'm avoiding being sick. Why else do you wipe your butt? You like the smell of that stuff?
Oh, yeah, no.
So I don't want to stink. So I'm avoiding the bad smell. I'm avoiding being dirty. I'm avoiding being unhealthy. You think you make a lot of friends when you walk around smelling like poop?
Nope.
Nope. So you probably upset your friends and families if you come hanging around sitting near them, right? So
Yeah.
you want to be accepted by society, right? So all of these negative consequences have made you create a standard that says my standard is I will always wipe my butt after I poop. Why? Because there's too many negative consequences if I don't.
Oh gosh, I love this.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's pick something else that you have a standard for that you don't even know you have a standard for. Chances are you brush your teeth often, probably daily, maybe even twice daily. Why? Why brush your teeth?
I don't like my mouth feels gross when I
Oh, so you're running away from negative. If I don't brush my teeth, I have a gross feeling mouth. How do you think your breath smells?
It's terrible.
I'll have shitty breath. What do you think the dentist is going to do to what's going to happen to your teeth if you don't brush?
Oh yeah, I'll start getting gum disease and
Right, and then all the pain that comes with the doctor, the dentist visit to correct it, right? Root canals, deep cleaning in the gums, blood, pain. Meh. So you brush your teeth, not because you like clean, sparkly, pearly white teeth, but because you don't like gingivitis, you don't like halitosis, you don't like that gooky feel all throughout the mouth, you don't like the pain of going to the dentist and going through really painful, invasive procedures. So you have created a standard. In order to avoid all of those negative things, I have to brush my teeth, and I have to brush it daily or twice daily. Do you even think about wiping your butt after you poop?
No, you just do it.
You just do it. Do you even think about brushing your teeth?
Well, you think, yeah, I need to do it.
But you know what I mean? But it's not something
But
you're like,
you just
I'm just
do
going to
it.
skip that today. I have an important meeting, so I'm just going to skip it.
No.
No.
Yeah, you just do it.
You just do it. If you were on your way to a meeting and you were running late, but you hadn't brushed your teeth yet, would you stop for 5 minutes, be 5 minutes more late, and brush your teeth, or would you just run out the door with that bad breath?
No, I'd brush the teeth.
Bingo, because you have a standard. So what we want you to do, one of the things I recommend you doing in order to create these new habits, you have to have a standard that's so negative to cross it. Which means, what's the current weight right now?
The last night it was 220. So
Okay.
right back where I started at
Right.
the beginning of this.
Okay.
I'm right back
So
where
the
I
way we
started.
start with the standard is I would sooner die than be 220 pounds again in my life.
Okay.
If that means that I have to go a whole day without eating, if that means I have to go 2 days. Now, I'm not condoning anorexic behavior,
No, but what
but
you're
I'm
saying
giving
is
you
standard
need a
that's firm.
standard. And the standard
firm.
is I always wipe my butt after I poop. Why? Because it's way too negative if I don't. And now another standard is I will never go over 220 again. I don't care what I have to do. If that means I have to chop off half of my leg to get the scale to say under 220, then I will do that. If it means I have to exercise even when I hurt, then I will do that. If that means that I have to go the whole day and not eat anything, then I will do that. Because the consequence of being 220 again is so negative to me. So now we need to attach what are some negative things about being this weight or higher.
I look terrible. I look in the mirror and I don't have a figure.
Okay.
I have a round figure.
So I don't like how I look.
Don't like how I look.
Does it hurt your self-esteem?
Yes, it does.
It hurts my self-esteem. Do you feel confident at 220? It makes me feel less confident, right? Would you be more confident at, say, 195 than you would be at 220?
You bet.
Okay, so I don't have confidence. So how well do you think that lack of confidence is going to work for you in the business world with this new business venture?
It's a drag.
Right. Okay, so would you say the 220 is negatively affecting your business?
I bet it does.
Absolutely it does. Are there any health risks with carrying around extra body fat that you're afraid of?
Yeah, you're more tired all the time and,
Yep.
and have your weight jamming up my knees and my
If you need to build this successful business now on your own because the business partner is ill, that means you need energy to learn how to do it on your own. Just because you don't know how to do it now doesn't mean you don't know that you can't learn. But in
Right.
order for you to learn, that requires energy, that requires discipline, that requires hard work. You think a body at 220 that can't walk past a pint of ice cream has that kind of strength?
Ooh, that's heartless. That's so
That's
mean.
mean.
But it's
Oh, you
true.
bet it's mean. It's absolutely mean because you hired me to be your doctor, not your friend, right? So the problem is, at the moment when we're eating those foods, it feels glorious because it stimulates dopamine, which is a natural high, right? So it's a feel-good hormone. So it stimulates a feel-good hormone, the food tastes good, and I don't have to think about all of the pain on the other side of this food. But that pain doesn't go away, and the behavior that you're currently doing will only make it worse. So we need to put something in front of that food that makes the food option more negative than just sticking with whatever program. And if you don't do that kind of work, the work that we're doing right now, if you don't do it before you start the program, then the next negative obstacle that comes your way is going to knock you down. And that's what keeps happening, is you'll find life will give you a negative obstacle. Whatever it was in July that knocked you down, whatever it was this time that knocked you down, that crap's going to keep happening unless your standard of what you're willing to accept is so high that you maintain the course despite the negative obstacle. That standard has to be so high and so strong in you. Just like you have a standard, chances are you don't kill people.
Right?
And you don't kill people. Why? Because you have a standard. I value human life. Even if they're in your face and yelling and screaming and spitting at you or making you feel really bad, do you ever pull out a knife and stab them to death or run them over with your car? Do you even think about that? No, because you have a standard even in the face of negative consequence from them. So it's learning how to make that standard apply to the weight and to the body. The food that we're running to, while it tastes good, is such a temporary, fleeting, empty pleasure. Half the time it doesn't even last the entire time you're eating it. You start eating it, the first few bites are amazing, and then after that, here comes the guilt and the shame. And what you'll do is you'll just suppress the guilt and the shame with, well, fuck it, I've already screwed it, so I'm just going to finish eating it. You know what I mean? We talk ourselves into a banquet of crap. There is no ice cream that tastes better than how you look and feel, but only you have to choose to believe it, but you have to really believe it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's ice cream out there that tastes amazing. Let's say that you had a size 6 body. how good does the ice cream taste compared to having the size 6 body? So on one hand, you got the ice cream, and the other hand, you got size 6, great clothes, beautiful blonde hair, all the ex-boyfriends pissed as hell that they didn't take a chance with you when they should have. Which tastes better?
That being the size 6, because the ice cream tastes good while it's in your mouth and then it's over. Mm-hmm. But being what you want to be is
permanent. Is permanent. So the only reason that you're choosing the ice cream at this point over the size 6, made all my money back, got the hot man, whatever it is, right? The only reason you're choosing the ice cream is because the ice cream gives you the pleasure now. The size 6 you got to work towards still.
Instant gratification.
The instant gratification is winning, and you can't let the instant gratification win. So you've got to put something negative against that instant gratification. Does the ice cream taste good now? Yes. But if I got on the scale tomorrow and I was down a pound, which would taste better? Being down a pound tomorrow or the taste of the ice cream now?
Ooh, that I've never thought of it that way.
Right? Because I promise you, when you put the ice cream in your mouth, if most people won't even get on the scale the next day because they already know. And that's just avoidance and denial, and that's not going to get you anywhere near your goal. So even if you come up with just that sentence in the face of the obstacle, here's the ice cream, I'm stressed, coworker or my partner in my business isn't getting any better, it's looking like that's getting worse, I've got the stress of this huge loan, all that shit's waiting for you every day, whether you eat or not. So that shit's just waiting for you, okay? But I could give myself 30 minutes of an escape with the ice cream. 30 minutes. Or I could weigh less tomorrow than I do today. I could be smaller tomorrow than I do today. I could be closer to my goal tomorrow than I could be today. I could be a pound down tomorrow if I just get through today. Which one tastes better? And only you can make that choice at the moment, but I'm hoping that by having this conversation with you, it'll help you make the choice that goes towards your goal, because one is taking you away from your goal. Instant gratification, but away from the goal. The other one makes you stronger, makes you more disciplined, takes you towards your goal. And these are all traits that will work for you in your business versus against you. Mm-hmm. Giving into instant gratification crap is not going to help you in your business. It's not going to help you in a personal relationship, a sexual relationship, or your health goals. It does nothing but give you 30 minutes of relief. Is 30 minutes of relief worth throwing away all your goals?
Yeah, because it's not just 30 minutes of relief. It's also tearing me down.
Right.
It's also...
So the 30 minutes of relief that you got added to the stress and the pain that you're trying to avoid in the first place. Is that worth it when you think of it that way?
No, it's not.
No. So we want you to start thinking about it that way. You could potentially do 30 days of the reduce phase, but give me 30 days and stop dicking around. You are worth more than a stupid pint of ice cream, and all of that stress and pain is going to be with you whether you're 150 or 250 pounds. It's how you deal with it that needs to change, because that will never stop. I mean, and we hate to talk about negative stuff, but it's true. It's usually the negative stuff that knocks us down. That's what I hear in my office all the time. I couldn't stay with the program because of this negative situation. That negative situation is never going away. So you either learn to figure it out now and change that habit, and you start by changing the habit by changing your standard. I refuse to eat some food that's going to compromise my standards, my goals, my integrity, my business, my relationship. There's no ice cream that tastes good enough to do that.
Oh, that is so strong.
Right?
Strong and so powerful.
And that's what you need to be, is strong, right? There's no ice cream, there's no candy bar, there's no fast food compared to my business, compared to $200,000 investment in a business. What quarter pounder with cheese tastes as good as that investment? I got an investment on my back. I need to get to work, especially now because my partner is sick. He can't help me, which means now I've got to run this business on my own. I've got to learn it and figure it out. I don't have time for a $3 piece of crap hamburger with fries and a Coke. But that is such a, can you see when you put it in that kind of perspective? That is just such a shitty cop-out. And all humans do it. Don't get me wrong. This isn't just you. All humans do it. Most humans do it. But it's just learning to think differently and keep that goal in front of you and have something negative behind you pushing you towards the goal. Do you know what I mean? The failure is higher. You have a higher chance of failure on that business if you keep going down this path.
It's true.
Right?
That's true. I can see that.
Right? Right.
Some of the you said, like, for example, having an unhealthy relationship with food and using food not only when I'm sad or mad or upset, but also using it when you're happy. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Bingo.
Yep.
I never thought of that. It's such an unhealthy relationship.
Yes, that's what you have, is a bad relationship with food. And the food, because you're allowing yourself to be a victim to the food is destroying everything that you really want in life by promising you something for the moment. I'll give you this right now. Yeah, it'll screw over your health. Yeah, it's going to turn your business into the toilet. Yeah, you're not going to make as much money. Yeah, you'll probably die alone. But it's strawberry with chocolate chips. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when you hear it that way, you're like, yeah, no, screw that. I want a good man to take good care of me and that I can support and take care of him. I want to not only get my investment back, but I want to thrive despite the fact that my partner got ill. I don't want to get the same disease that the partner has. I want to be the envy of everybody that walks in the room and sees me. How is this woman this age and looks this amazing? What I would recommend is go through the 30 days of reduce again. Because you had such a bad, the kind of food choices that you ate were particularly bad, I would recommend supplementation to help you get through that reduce phase. Give me 30 days, but send me something to hold yourself accountable, because that's the other thing you're doing is, since I don't have to tell anybody, this one day won't matter.
You're right.
Right? And because I do it. Everybody does it. Everything I'm telling you is not something that just Susan does. Everybody does this crap, okay? And it's just learning how to not sabotage yourself and to finally stand up for your goals and what you want. It means that in the short term, it sucks. And it does. It sucks. I have to stay away from certain foods that I really like. I have to keep telling people I can't have this and I can't have that. I have to feel deprived. I have to sacrifice. All of that feels like crap. Nobody likes to do that. But
it'll get easier.
Yes. You know, once it becomes a habit, you're not sacrificing anymore. And the long-term gain, your end game is a huge win. But just know, it's gonna suck. It sucks in the beginning until you get free from that insulin hormone and those cravings, that shit. It just sucks. And until you get over the emotional eating.
That's my problem.
And you gotta recognize that food is abusing you. And you are allowing it. You are being the victim. We're not a victim anymore. We're not playing that crap. There is no ice cream, cookie, gourmet food, whatever it is, that tastes as good as accomplishing your goals feels. There just isn't. But you don't know that yet because you keep putting off the accomplishment of the goal. So all that means is, for the next 30 days, life sucks. It just does.
For the next 30 days, life sucks.
It just sucks.
But
right? I'm going to feel stressed. I'm going to feel tired. I'm not going to have any energy. I'm going to be afraid because of the business and all the other crap. It's just going to suck. It just sucks. Get through it. Because you just have to learn how to feel life sucking. Sometimes life is just really shitty.
Talking about feeling the emotion, that sounds so foreign to me.
Right.
And I really need to explore that, because I'm not a person that screams and shouts and punches things, and maybe if I would learn to experience the emotion, I could get through it, you know?
Right. You're pushing that emotion down with the food. You're suppressing it. And it could be that you were taught that girls don't scream, or I'm not that person, or whatever it is, or you just early on went to food and found that it comforted you and that just created the bad habit. Let the emotion out. There are times where I've screamed and hit and cried so much that like liquid was coming out of every part of my body. My eyes, my nose, I'm drooling. But nobody's seeing me. And when I get past it, I feel kind of empty and spent. But I stuck with my long-term goal. The long-term goal is the most important thing in your life. That means success in the business, getting my loan money back, like earning that money back, paying that loan off, getting my health back. That is the most important goal. Don't sacrifice what you really want for what you want right now.
Right.
And it's just keeping that goal in front of you and creating a standard. This is the last time I will be this weight.
This is the last time.
Yeah. It is completely, 220 is completely unacceptable. I'm going to do whatever I can today. Anything. Well, not anything. Like, be reasonable. But I'm going to do
that absolute determination.
Right. I am going to do whatever I can today to make sure that number tomorrow doesn't have 220. It's something under. Mm-hmm. And then when it gets to say 219.5, let's say, great, that's the new standard. The standard gets raised as the weight goes down.
Yeah,
when you hit
I like it.
You know what I mean? You're like, I'm going to do whatever. All I got to think about is today. Just get through today. Don't think about 30 days. You take 30 days, one day at a time. And I'm going to do whatever I can today to make that number smaller tomorrow, because this is unacceptable.
This is unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And I'm stronger than that, powerful than that, smarter than that. And if I just keep doing it, I won't need willpower anymore. Willpower will I won't need that. I need it in the beginning. But if I keep doing this, it'll become habit, and then I don't need any willpower at all. Okay?
I'm just starting right where I was a month ago and just wasted a whole month. I mean, I am learning things. I am learning that
So it's never a failure. You either succeed or you learn, right? You either succeed or you get experience that makes you better. You're not failing. Okay? You're not failing. Okay? So you're learning.
And you look at things in a unique way that I need to make my own.
All right, my dear. So you have a good one, and then I'm going to have my staff call you.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one, sweetie.